Hey gamers, it's Wintermute here from Grind This Game, back with My Colony. It's been a while since I've done a My Colony video. There's been a lot of updates. I think my last video covered the 0.41 update, and we're now on to update 0.50, which is kind of a big update. And I would cue like the Imperial Death March music from Star Wars right now because the Galactic Emperor has taxed all of the colonies. It's a pretty controversial issue. If you look in the forums, there's lots of people kind of really upset, either quitting or talking about quitting because the taxes were pretty huge. Now, the taxes basically taxed money, and anything, if you had any money over 10 billion, 100% of that was taxed away, and anything over 750 million was taxed at 95%. So if you had under 750 million, which is most of new players, you won't even notice anything. But if you're one of the bigger colonies that's been around, you probably noticed some people had trillions or quadrillions or even more money, so they really noticed. My main colony on the red planet here had, I can't remember what I had, to tell you the truth, somewhere between 5 billion and 10 billion, I think. So when I logged in after the tax, I had 1 billion, and I had to do a repair bill. And let's just see here under policy. My infrastructure repair when I logged in was 500 million. So that dropped me down to another close to 500 million. But I noticed it doesn't take very long for infrastructure repair to kind of build itself back up. It's averaging probably about a million per minute or more. We'll take a look at the end of this video just to see. So it's sitting at 17.1 million now. So in a few minutes I'll check on it again and we can see what it's at. So the reason for this tax was that one person or many people had hacked the API and flooded the market with a bunch of trades and also bought a lot of trades on the market. So the reason it affected other players that were playing normally is that if they had put any kind of resources up for sale in the market, this hacker would have just bought them no matter what the price. So people were pricing things really high and making lots of money, using the market normally, but because the hackers were buying everything, it caused like hyperinflation throughout the whole Galactic Board of Trade kind of market system. So that was the reason for the massive tax, just to bring kind of everyone down back to normal numbers, basically a big reset. The other kind of controversial thing was that if you didn't have enough storage for resources, they started to decay pretty rapidly. And I encountered that issue with, I think, uranium and a few other resources. I had to quickly build storage before all the stuff decayed away. Like gold, for instance. I think I had about 100 million gold, and I only had storage for 24 million. So one thing I did, and this is kind of an exploit, maybe, loophole, I don't know. I don't like to talk about them, but if you have another colony that has a decent amount of storage, if you send resources to that colony, for instance, I have my Moonbase 1 here. If I sent a gift of like, I don't know, let's say 500,000 food, while it's kind of in the transit system of being gifted, it's not being decayed. So it's one way to kind of avoid decay until you have enough storage. But I don't want to talk about just the negative kind of stuff going on. I want to talk about all this new stuff in the new updates since 0.41. So I'll start off with this night and day cycle. That's was new quite a while ago. As you can see, it's dark. There are some lighting buildings, like here I've got some little lights, street light, and vehicles are also lit up, as you can see. Now I usually just turn it off because I can't see stuff very well, so under engine settings I usually turn the lightings off. I turn basically everything off because I want it to run really fast, and I force it to always day. I turn particles off. I turn check render distance off. So that makes the game run really smoothly for me. So the day-night thing, it does look cool, but Just because it's harder to see stuff, I usually turn it off. Now, if you're playing an Ice World map, you can't turn it off. It's always dark. But you can use the bulldozer tool, which kind of on the Ice World lights up the map a bit, and then you can see things better. So some of the newer things, we've got a supermarket, which converts food and water into money. We've also got the Mega Mart, which is an upgrade to this supermarket. But it consumes a bunch of things. It requires toys and food and water and clay and a whole bunch of stuff. So I probably won't build one of those. Both of these buildings have a slightly different art style than kind of all the other ones with this dark outline. They look kind of nice. They also generate civics, but not a whole bunch. So another new building we got here is the Ancient Alien Ore Refinery, which takes ore and uranium and makes a lot of steel. It also increases the storage of the building to 250,000 steel. So quite a big upgrade to the regular advanced ore refinery. This regular refinery does about 168 steel per minute, and this advanced one the alien one does about 1600, so quite a big boost, but you're going to have to feed it uranium. Another somewhat new thing is the alien enrichment facility, which it uses alien artifacts to produce a whole bunch more uranium than the regular one. So the regular enrichment does about 14 uranium per minute, and this alien one does about 43 per minute. So quite a big boost. But it uses alien artifacts, which can sell for quite a bit, so it's kind of a trade-off. You get more uranium, but you're using up alien artifacts. So I'm not sure if I probably won't build any more of them. They're also incredibly expensive to make. They require 20,000 alien artifacts. And just to give you an idea what alien artifacts are worth right now, let's do an export here. So for 100,000 alien artifacts, you get 223 million, which is one of the most expensive kind of resources right now. Now there's a new vehicle, the Turbo Drone, and it builds things 40 times faster than the regular drone. I'm going to build a blue residential tower, which is kind of it's a paid upgrade building. It's similar to the regular residential tower, but it's blue, and it houses 100 more people, I think. So we'll take a look and see how fast these turbo drones are. So there we go. We've got 10 of them building, and they're done. So it gives you an idea. They're really fast. But I think that's only with the paid upgrade. The paid upgrade gets rid of the ads from the game, and I think it only costs about $4, so it's worth it if you want to support the developer. Now what else is new? The Diamond Solar. Okay, let's check that out under power. It's kind of a mid-game power production building, and probably only suitable for the League of Independent States because you don't have diamonds on a lot of the maps. Yeah, diamonds are pretty rare, normally very expensive on any non-diamond kind of world, so won't be building any of those. One entirely new aspect of the game is trash. Now I've got around 300,000 trash up here, and there's various ways to get rid of the trash. You can incinerate it, which produces a lot of atmosphere in the micro incinerator or the incinerator. You can build landfills, which just kind of dump it in a hole, and it does decay over time. So I'll just build this. You can build a small trash pit. I'll build one over here. That uses up 10,000 trash, or the big landfill, which uses 250,000 trash. Actually, I can build one of each. So there it is. And if you click on it, you can see how much trash is in it, and slowly that will decay over time. Let's build a big giant landfill. Now these are 5 by 5. They're pretty large. And they take quite a bit of ore, 70,000 ore and 8,000 water. That's going to take a while to build. The more responsible or better way to get rid of that trash, I would say, is to use these recycling plants. There's a small recycling center or a medium recycling center. The medium recycling center takes 1,200 aluminum, which is kind of the most expensive ingredient in there. And I built a whole bunch of them because I got a lot of colonists, a lot of trash. And they actually have an output of plastic and some aluminum. Not a whole bunch, but probably a better way of getting rid of your garbage. Now, if you let the trash get too big in your city, I think it has some negative effects on your colonists. So worthwhile to kind of keep it close to zero. And there's a new atmosphere scrubber. Yeah, atmosphere scrubber. So the atmosphere scrubber, it scrubs 1200 atmosphere per minute. Requires 1500 power. That's a lot of power for a building. And sometime in the future, having a high atmosphere over, I think, 15 million will start to make your colonists sick. So it's not implemented yet, but there's been warning given that high atmosphere levels will hurt your colonists. So it's worthwhile to kind of get your atmosphere in balance. And if you go into resources, you can see, let's see here. I can see that my bacteria farms are churning out, and my condensers are alien condensers, not the scrubber, but the ones that turn atmosphere into water are using up 18,000. So I can see it's trending up. I should actually turn, what is my atmosphere at right now total? My atmosphere is actually only at 1.7 million because I turned off all my bacteria farms earlier, and because I was at 15 million and I was getting a warning. So I turned all my bacteria farms off to let these ancient alien condensers consume all the atmosphere. So now the atmosphere is really low, and I'm just trying to keep it in balance. Uranium silos are new. These are just to store uranium. I don't think they had a building before, but now they do. So I built a bunch of those just after the update. I can't remember where I built them, but they're somewhere on this map. Oh, so here's our landfill all completed, and you can see it's going down already, so it's at 249,000. This trash pit was at 10,000, now it's at 8,800. This advanced synthetic oil lab is also new. So it converts food, regolith, charcoal into oil, and it uses robots to do that. I didn't want to build a lot of them because I don't want to use up all my robots, but that's one way to make oil on like a red planet. Now there's also some new research I haven't done yet. So we have ant pace synthesis, which unlocks the ant. Oh, this is new. You can see what buildings get unlocked with the research, which is really handy. So unlocks the ant pace synthesizer. Let's check that out. Ooh, here it is. Never seen this one before. So combine trash and atmosphere. Oh wow, with electricity to create ant paste. 1500 power. That's a lot of power. But that's actually really cool. It's turning something not very useful, like trash and atmosphere. Yeah, I like that. So we've got a little strip we could put it in right here. Let's build one. So there we go. Oh yeah, you can see a little bit of trash going in. Oh, so this actually uses robots to work as well. So maybe not the greatest. It doesn't actually say anything in the description about using robots, but if you look at the reference app, which I use a lot, and I'll put a link in the description, you can look at all the details of all these buildings. So, but it might work well for some builds if you've got lots of extra robots. Now, there's another research here. Political theater. 1 million research points and 500,000 civics. Pretty expensive. But that unlocks the Hall of Congress. Let's check that out. Hall of Congress. Holy requirements. Insanely overpriced rubber stamping institution. Requires 50,000 power. Costs 500 million. 4 million steel. 8 million gold. 200,000 oil. 1.8 million aluminum. And 1.5 million uranium. 500,000 robots. 1 million civics. Holy moly. I don't even have the materials to make all this stuff. And I've read in the forums that it takes forever to build. Like, even with 1,000 vehicles building it, it takes a very, very, very long time. But I might end up building one eventually. It's probably going to be similar to this thing, this statue. Unbridled excess. That thing took forever to build, like days and days and days. And it only cost 175 million. So this other building is going to take a super long time. Which thing can build it though, I wonder? So it looks like the turbo drone can build it, which might make it a little bit faster than normal. But that I think is a paid upgrade, so we'll see if we can build it, but I'm not going to do it right now. My city's actually not that big compared to some people have crazy cities. I think I've seen some maps where people have like 2,000 of these aluminum generators and thousands and thousands of these ultra deep dig sites. Oh, the investment bank was also nerfed in this update. So it used to generate quite a bit of money, but it's been scaled down quite a bit to the point where it's probably not worth building anymore, but that might change in the future. And I'm probably going to knock down these arcologies. And the reason is that even though they hold 10,000 people, they employ 7,000 people in like really low paying jobs, which essentially do nothing. There's 7,000 people. They have jobs, but they're actually not doing anything except for eating and sleeping and requiring medical aid. I would rather have them, doing useful work in some kind of other building. So I'll probably replace all but one of these arcologies, maybe all of them, with something more like these residential towers. They do provide a surplus of 3,000 people that can work at other jobs. So it's kind of an efficient use of space, but they come along with 7,000 people that aren't actually doing useful work. I think the conference hall and the Advanced Medical Research Center are also new. Here's the Advanced Medical Research Center. Can hold 100 patients. Looks pretty cool. And the conference hall provides money, research, but it uses rum, microchips, and food. I probably won't build a lot of those, but here's one of them here. Nice little pool on the roof. Oh, the diamond crystal reactor. That's also fairly new. And it combines diamonds and crystalline with uranium to produce crazy amounts of power. It generates 275,000 power. And that's relative to this one here, that the alien power tower generates 45,000. So that's a lot of power, but you have to power it with very expensive resources, diamonds, crystalline, and uranium. So I don't think this thing is worthwhile, even though it looks cool, unless you have a lot of surplus diamonds. Diamonds are pretty hard to get, so I probably will never build one of these. These alien power towers, all they consume is helium, which is really easy to get, especially if you have a moon map. And I do have a moon base. I'll just jump over that really quickly. Oh, so here I am on my moon base. I haven't logged into it in a while, so here's the Galactic Emperor Tax. So I owe 14 million. It looks like I had about 750 million on this base. I haven't played it in a while. And I have this base to generate regolith, helium, and a few other things. It's kind of a dedicated helium regolith base. So I just send my helium from this base into my main Mars base. Anyway, it's a tiny map. That's my little moon base. It's making regolith at 166,000. Oh, actually, you can see the resource decay probably on this map. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at my microchips going down. So this base has 3 million microchips, but only storage for 472,000. So you can see it going down really fast. And you can actually see it in the stats menu. So if you go into microchips, you can see decay. I've already lost 30,000 microchips due to decay. So what I'll probably do is send some microchips to my main base that has the storage. Oh, I can send 3 million. Okay, so let's send 2.5 million. Maybe another 200,000. And that will kill off the decay, so we're not decaying. We're not burning microchips anymore. So that's pretty much it for this update, I think. Hopefully a lot of players don't quit over the controversy. It's kind of fun to have more constraints in the game, though. Not necessarily to have all your money taxed away, but they're definitely going to have to fix the repair thing, though. So if you look under policy, yeah, we're at 19 million already. I probably won't even bother repairing my buildings because the repair costs are so high. I'll just let them fall down. Actually, 19 million. It's not too bad right now, but let's actually pay it. And then see how fast it goes up in maybe a couple of minutes. So actually I let 3 minutes go by, and my repair costs are only 89,000. So it's not as bad as it was when I first logged in. I think it's because it's based on market prices, and market prices have come down a lot. The repair costs are kind of back to normal, 95,000. Yeah, I think it's going to be manageable now. Before it was, yeah, 500 million when I first logged in, so that was kind of crazy. And I paid it. I probably shouldn't have, but let's just see market prices here. Yeah, things seem to be settling down. Now, crystalline is pretty valuable stuff. So I have an ice map that I'm building up, and I've got lots of crystalline, but it's not working out so well because it's lagging so much. But I'm going to do a separate video on that map. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.